Have you ever come across the term simple harmonic motion? Even if you haven't heard of it before, I can guarantee that you will have seen it in real life. For example, a vibrating strings of a guitar, or the vibrations of a ruler, like this. The graph shown on the screen is a representation of simple harmonic motion. In all of the examples shown, the objects seem to move one way to the other repeatedly while still returning to the equilibrium. This is also known as displacement. The definitions shown on the screen are some of the important ones to understand oscillations. They include amplitude, time period, and frequency. So what exactly is simple harmonic motion and how does it work? It's perhaps best explained using an example. Let's look at the case of a pendulum fixed at the top. When the pendulum is at rest, we call this the equilibrium position. Here, the displacement is 0. Now let's consider what happens if the pendulum is displaced from this equilibrium position and released. As expected, it starts swinging or oscillating. And looking closer, you notice that it always restores its equilibrium position. And the force responsible for this is called the restoring force. The presence of this force is best described by a discovery Newton made almost 300 years ago. He found that whenever there's an external force, an acceleration is also produced, or in other words, F equals ma. Another example of this is the spring mass system. Every time a spring mass system has been compressed or tensed, it tends to retain its equilibrium position. In other words, it follows all of the same characteristics as the pendulum. And these are the characteristics of simple harmonic motion. Firstly, oscillation has to occur about a midpoint. Secondly, acceleration has to be proportional to the displacement. And finally, acceleration has to be in the opposite direction to the displacement. These characteristics can also be expressed as mathematical equations, and these are as follows. We also make use of simple harmonic motion in our everyday life. When a car travels through a bumpy road, it jolts, and without the suspension system, the passengers would be bouncing up and down with the car for a long time. The springs in the suspension system help the car return to its equilibrium position as soon as possible after each jolt, with little or no oscillations. Another application can be conveyed in skyscrapers. Wind and natural causes like earthquakes cause buildings to oscillate. To prevent them from toppling over, these buildings have things called mass dampers inside them. These are used to reduce the size of the oscillations and return the skyscraper back to equilibrium as soon as possible. The importance of knowing the principles of simple harmonic motion is perhaps best highlighted by the famous Tacoma Bridge incident. Built in the 1940s, it was one of the biggest suspension bridges built around the time. On November 7, 1940, oscillations produced by mere wind caused the dramatic collapse of the bridge. Although there was no human casualty of the bridge, it highlights how important it is for engineers to know about simple harmonic motions and oscillations, as it helps them predict the performance of their design to avoid any unexpected failures, which can have serious and devastating consequences. Thank you for watching, and we hope this video was useful.
Created using Powtoon.